I went through like a 24 to 36-hour detox of my entire life.
Really?
Yes, and when I came out of that, I was so much lighter, so much brighter in my being. I could breathe easier, and I thought, wow, there is something to all of this. I don't understand it. I don't believe in it, but I'm going to continue.
What if the best chapter of your life hasn't even begun yet? What lies within you is the power to live brighter, bolder, and truer than ever before. So, welcome to Vivatude, where caregiving, connections, and career come into balance, and where your vitality, vision, and voice shines through. Because the revolution isn't out there, it's already within you. Welcome to Vivatude.
And we are back with Vivatude. I'm Lauren Archer, your host for emotional and spiritual wellness. And we are talking with Ellen Newhouse about shifting, healing from trauma, healing emotional energy that has gotten stuck in our body, causing all these mystery illnesses that so many women deal with. Ellen has her own story of transformation. And we left off, Ellen, when you had seen this old Chinese healer that was very strange to you at the time, and you were guided to go there, and that opened the door. Can you tell us what happened next? How did you experience the shift, and what did you keep studying and learning about?
Okay, so I'm walking home from that appointment, and suddenly I felt this opening in my chest, and I felt I could breathe more, and it totally freaked me out because the thoughts in my mind were, well, he can't do anything with just his hands. Like I I didn't believe anything could happen. And now my mind is trying to catch up with what my body is going through. And I decided I would go back for another treatment. Just even though I was scared to death, I was like, this something has happened here.
Yeah,
Something
something
has,
worked, and after Western medicine came up with 0 results and you're still
yeah,
suffering, to
yeah,
have a shift with this alternative medicine,
yeah.
that had to have been really impactful. Okay, so then what?
So, and at the next session, he gives me these herbs and tells me what to do. And oh my God, I decided to follow through with that. And they were horrible. They smelled horrible. Everything about it was horrible. But what I went through in taking those herbs was, even to this day, I'm amazed. It was like the deepest detox of so much of my emotions. So, I mean, I went through like a 24 to 36-hour detox of my entire life. And
Really?
yes, and when I came out of that, I was so much lighter, so much brighter in my being. I could breathe easier, and I thought, wow, there is something to all of this. I don't understand it. I don't believe in it, but I'm gonna continue, and I started to study, and he wanted me to study with him, which to this day I regret a little bit. I wasn't ready because he scared the heck out of me. What he knew was amazing, and I didn't, but I continued in my own way to study about this energy medicine. I was like, okay, I need to find some books. And shortly thereafter, the New Age movement began. And so there were a lot more books. There weren't places to study necessarily. But I then started listening more to these guides and following through about what they told me to do. And I started to meet even more healers. And I was like, I was so scared, and it took me about 5 years before I would get comfortable with this idea of energy medicine and, herbs and what they can do, because I was so accustomed to the Western model. This was so foreign,
Yeah.
but I continued.
One of my favorite sayings is, when you open up your mind, don't let your brains fall out. Right? So, yes, I can see why people, especially if you come from an academic background, if you want to be conservative, respectful of what you're getting into, you want to do your research, and it sounds like you really did.
Yeah.
So yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, I had a degree in economics and international relations. So to go from that to opening up to these foreign ideas was so important because so many people, now that I take on the journey of their own healing, have to open their minds in the exact same way. Most of my patients don't readily believe in, spirits or guides. And so I think it's important that I had to go through that so that I could help other people to understand and to help them to to open their minds as well.
Yeah, yeah. So catch us up. So from the early humble beginnings of you trying to heal yourself when Western medicine couldn't, childhood trauma, your own sense of who you were was really kind of overwritten by what your family told you. And I wonder how common that is in the world,
Yeah.
especially for women, right? We are taught to kind of keep things in this narrow band. And so then you have now shifted totally into helping women move into their own sense of self. So, how do you do that?
With a lot of patience. And I think the very first step is in owning, being honest with oneself about what's going on. And it's not that we want to be dishonest, but it's so scary to be able to say, I don't feel well, I'm hurting, I need help. I'm angry, I'm sad. I mean, I know this may sound easy or I don't know, it may sound small, but it's so huge. I think we are so accustomed to wanting to make nice, to be a people pleaser, to not ruffle the feathers, to not go against our tribe, which is our family. We want to uphold all of these things. And it's the small steps, well, small and huge, of really starting with how do I actually feel? And I often have people just start in this very moment. How do you feel? Let's just even get an intake, even if you feel warm or cold. I mean, people are so unaccustomed to coming inside of themselves. So we start with coming inside and just even noticing, how do I feel in this moment?
Yeah, that's huge. I know in my own work as a heart math coach and a hypnotherapist, so much is in our subconscious that we're not aware of, and yet the subconscious is driving the show. And many of us live from the neck up, as it were, right? Our attention is constantly focused on our to-do lists, on who needs what in our lives, on how everything looks on the outside, on all of those external measures of success that we are not even aware of what's going on from the neck down. How do we feel in our bodies? What are our emotions trying to tell us?
Yes, yes, and so even just having people doing a scan of their bodies seems foreign. It's
Mhm.
like, "What do you mean?" Because we have
Yes.
a lot of ideas in our head about who we are and how we feel, but they're not often lined up with actually what's going on inside of our body.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to give you some opportunity to give women your top, say, 3 tips
Mhm.
on how they can begin to start with where they are and learn about what else is possible. We're going to be coming back to that, but before we take a break, I want to hear just in terms of your studies, so acupuncture, energy healing, can you just overview, like, how do you work with women?
So today I integrate acupuncture, sound healing, so I sing into people's bodies and beings, and transformational coaching. And I put them all together when I work with people in person, and then when I work with them afar on Zoom, we just leave the acupuncture alone. Um, yeah.
Phenomenal. Okay, we are going to come back with Ellen Newhouse, and I just have to put a little teaser out there. So I had one Zoom session with Ellen where she did some of her energy work, and I am not kidding. I could totally feel it in every cell of my body. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and you're going to get a taste of Ellen's work a little later.
And thanks for listening to Vivatude. 4 hosts, 1 each week. We help you revivitude your next chapter because purpose, passion, and prosperity isn't out there. They're already within you. Brighter, bolder, truer. Vivatude.